What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, we're back to talk about Scream 7. And the last 2 days, or really last 24 hours, has been quite something. We got 3 different things to talk about, and sounds like things are picking up. Thank the Lord. It's been a little while, and let's jump into it. So I want to make sure I'm crediting, the originator of all of these different things. I think they came from like 3 different people in all, but Scream News, who's a great Twitter follow, we follow each other, great account, does a fantastic job of kind of putting all this information together. So, first thing to talk about, Scream 7 rumor. In Scream 7, Sydney's daughter will be named Tatum, and that came from viewer Anon, old friend, all right? Obviously, he knows his stuff, so there's really no reason to kind of doubt that one. So, second thing is that Kirby movie, which I just think is absolutely incredible. We'll talk about at the end, but came from Kay Carpenter. According to Production Weekly, a Scream spin-off movie is in the works. It's been said that the movie will be centered around Kirby Reed, and you can actually kind of read the write-up, right? This is from Production Weekly. Status, it's in development. Producer is Kevin Williamson, so he's attached himself to this as well. A spin-off of the Scream franchise centering on Hayden Panettiere's character, Special Agent Kirby Reed, the sole teenage survivor of the second Woodsboro murders, known as the Woodsboro Massacre Remake, the highest body count and most violent massacre of all Ghostface killing sprees. So we'll talk about that in just a second. But then the final news, and this came from Daniel RPK, Taylor. This is we're gonna get code names, right? Which we got this back with Scream 6, and it was a lot of fun to kind of decode it all, right? So Taylor is a lead, over 18 to play a 17-year-old, right? White female. Taylor is Shannon's smart, kind, and headstrong teenage daughter who has been in a relationship with her boyfriend Brian for over a year. A bit tomboyish and rebellious, Taylor typically obeys her overprotective parents' strict rules, knowing they are only concerned for her safety, but is ready to prove that she can take care of herself and be treated like an adult. Taylor is probably Sydney's daughter, and Shannon is a code name. So that was Scream News' opinion. I will second that. So let's kind of start with that, right? Even just the description, right? Obeys her overprotective parents' strict rules, knowing they're only concerned for her safety. Well, and this person, this teenager, right, is a lead. Okay, well, if they're a lead, they're probably attached to Sydney in some way. They have overprotective parents, strict rules. They respect them, but at the same time, right, they kind of want a little bit of freedom. They're probably talking about Mark and Sydney, right? So that's cool. And then, again, kind of connecting the 2 rumors, or the first rumor to this last rumor. So Taylor is maybe a code name, right? Taylor's not and actually, they're all code names. So, like, Taylor is actually Tatum, and then Shannon, right? Shannon, smart, kind, and headstrong teenage daughter. Even that description of it, too, where it'd be, that would be like an offspring of Sydney. You could see that. So Shannon seems to be the code name for Sydney as well. So that part's interesting, and they're a lead. So that's something that I've seen people talk about, where it's like, well, you can be a lead, but like the movie doesn't have to like entirely focus on. I mean, like, I don't know. Is there like a lead? Is Sydney like the main lead? We've talked about it, right? As long as most of the movie is focusing on her and Gail, right? I think that makes the most sense. You want to start like a new generation probably. And hey, if you're going to like up the daughters, of Sydney to be, a teenage age, if you can get away with that, basically putting them in like Tara's, age range, say with Scream 5, like if you can do that, you can start to build them up. And then maybe even, because people speculate, or people have been saying for a while, if this is a trilogy and you do a Sydney story for the trilogy, do you do more? Like, I mean, I know it's getting ahead of ourselves to talk about Scream 10, right? Not 7, 8, 9, actually going all the way to 10. But, if you want to connect everything, or continue connecting everything, you literally could just hand it off to her daughters, right? So I do think that makes actually a lot of sense. And then the Tatum thing, like, that's cool to see. Actually, that's really cool. Like, that was the first rumor that I saw, and I believe chronologically that was the first rumor that came out, I think yesterday, about all of this. I like that a lot. I wonder, like, because Dewey had the call with her. I mean, it's obvious, like, they're kind of just adding as they go. But I think that's a cool cool little story, right? That, like, you know, the childhood friend or a person that really meant a lot to her, and this is kind of how she keeps that memory alive, is, or one of the ways is, you know, by naming a kid after her. And, but, you know, and maybe it adds something to like that Dewey conversation, right? Where she's, you know, the girls, but actually one of them is literally named Tatum. So I don't know. I do think that's a nice touch. Then the Kirby thing. So we heard the rumor about this a while ago. I think Daniel RPK was the one who talked about a Kirby-centered thing. It's like happening, you know, like it's official. I guess not officially official, like they haven't actually come out to announce it, but like when it's in, I guess things have been removed from Production Weekly, so maybe I shouldn't jump the gun, but it seems pretty official, and I would love that. I mean, I don't know, you know, I talked about this before. I actually think a TV show makes the most sense. How would a movie do? I guess the first, maybe, and this is maybe wrong of me, but the first thing I do jump to would be like, you know, would it be successful? Like, would it make profit and allow them to like even want to do it in the first place? Like, how much does a Kirby movie cost? Probably very little. But then how much does it make? Like, are you looking for like 30 million, 40 million? Are you looking for, if you're looking for like Scream numbers for a spin-off movie with Hayden Panettiere, I don't think you're getting that. If you're looking for like, hey, 20, 30, 40, 50 million, the movie costs like 5 or 10 million, it's low, very low budget, and it actually makes an okay amount of money. You know, like, I think that would be fine, but I guess it just depends on what they'd be looking for. But I've said it before, like, I actually think a Kirby show, like a literal detective show, would be really cool. And so my medium that I would choose to do a Kirby related thing would actually be television, because you could do episodes, spend longer on it, spend longer on her as a person. I mean, like the character, but as a person, right? I think that makes the most sense. I actually think a movie would be the worst of those two, but I would take more of Kirby. Like, and you know, that actually adds to the speculation that, remember, because the rumor was, you know, is she not going to be in Scream 7? And the rumor was she would be in Scream 7, and it would kind of like spin her off into her own thing. And that now it seems to be confirmed. Like, that's actually exactly what they're doing. So let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed to the channel. I feel like we've turned a corner. Hopefully, we'll be doing a lot more Scream videos over the next couple months, okay? Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you all on the next one.